Tashi Delek, today we are delighted to welcome Mrs. Tsering Yangkey, the newly appointed representative of His Holiness the Dalai Lama at the Office of Tibet in London. With 28 years of service in the Central Tibetan Administration, she has held key roles across various departments and leadership positions, including Director of Tibet Policy Institute. Now overseeing Tibet advocacy across 11 countries, Mrs. Tsering Yangkey brings a wealth of experience to her new role. We will discuss her journey, vision, and the challenges ahead in advancing Tibet's cause. Welcome to Tibettv, Kongola.
I offer my homage and gratitude to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Tashi Delek, to all the viewers of this edition of Tibet TV, and thank you, Pandela, for having me.
So, Kongola, I'd like to congratulate on the new post. So I'd like to begin by asking this first question. The Tibetan Peace Garden marked its Silver Jubilee anniversary on December 10, a notable occasion that also coincided with World Human Rights Day. So what is the significance of this milestone and what message did you aim to share through the event?
Yeah, the Lelung Dharma Trust here in London organized an interfaith event to mark the 25th anniversary of the Tibetan Peace Garden on 10th December, aligning with the Nobel Peace Prize Day and World Human Rights Day. And there were religious representatives from Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jews, Sikh, and of course Buddhist. So the Tibetan Peace Garden was blessed and inaugurated by His Holiness the Dalai Lama in May 1999. And for the past 25 years, the garden stood as a symbol of peace, compassion, and harmony as envisaged by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And I urge the guests and audience to use the occasion to reaffirm their commitment to the values the garden embodies. And I believe that world religious leaders have great potential to promote peace and harmony in the world. And more importantly, I had the opportunity to read out His Holiness's message for the occasion.
So Tibet's story is deeply intertwined with global human rights and environmental issues. So I'd like to know, how do you plan to connect Tibet's cause with broader conversations in the United Kingdom on these critical issues?
Tibet is the roof of the world's third pole and Asia's water tower. So the world leaders must protect Tibet's environment if they really want to achieve climate goal in their respective countries. As the UK claims global climate leadership and reiterates its commitment to net zero by 2050, I call upon the government to pay attention to the roof of the world. And the Minister for Climate, Kerry McCarthy, who was also the vice chair of the all-party parliamentary group for Tibet, was invited to the recent celebration of the Nobel Peace Prize Day, where we had the opportunity to brief her about the environment situation in Tibet. And as for the human rights, politicians here acknowledge that fundamental human liberties are at the heart of UK's foreign policy. So in that sense, we are hopeful and we will push the government to stand up for human rights.
The United Kingdom has long been a significant place for Tibet advocacy, and you also had a delegation from Tibetan Parliament just recently in UK. So how do you assess the current scope of Tibet-related advocacy and engagement in London and the UK at large?
Yeah, I would say there is a good scope for Tibet advocacy in UK. China is increasingly viewed as a threat to the UK with its transnational repression on the British citizens of Hong Kong, Uyghurs, and Tibetan origins. And there are incredible intelligence reports of China's spying activities in the United Kingdom. And at the same time, there are a good number of parliamentarians who are really concerned about China threat and who are also very supportive of human rights and environment issues of Tibet. And in fact, human rights are the key to foreign policy of the United Kingdom. And so I think it's just a matter of working in alliance with the like-minded partners in challenging the China.
So, Kumala, since taking charge in London just last month, what have been your key priorities or goals as the representative of Office of Tibet?
As you've said, it's only been little over a month since I took charge of the UK Tibet office, and the key priorities of this office are lobbying to facilitate a hearing on Tibet in the Foreign Affairs Committee meeting, and calling for the course correction in UK's Tibet policy, and urging the UK government to encourage the resumption of Sino-Tibetan dialogue based on middle way policy. And also equally important is to promote Tibetan language and cultural identity within the Tibetan community in the United Kingdom.
And Gongla, so you're also one of the youngest female secretaries to take on such a role. So how do you view this achievement, and what does it signify for young women and young professionals within the Tibetan administration?
Yeah, I don't really consider myself as a young woman, as I'm in my 50s now. Anyways, I believe that every achievement is the result of hard work, sincerity, determination, and honesty. And in my case, of course, it's the kindness and blessing of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and also my determination, my loyalty, my love, and my sincerity for Tibet cause, which earned this achievement for me. And I'm a product of CST Mongot, a day scholar throughout my school period till class 12. And, my parents are uneducated. They belong to the nomad family in Tibet. So young women out there, if an ordinary woman like me could make an achievement like this, you all will for sure. And however, on the other hand, I would also say that making an achievement like this is not my aim or intention. My only goal, or rather the purpose of my life, is to work for Tibet cause. I believe that we Tibetans are very lucky to be born as Tibetan under the spiritual leadership of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And we have His Holiness the Dalai Lama as our teacher, our leader, our protector, and we have a greater Tibet cause to live our life for. So whether women or men, I believe we all have a moral responsibility to work for the cause of Tibet. I would say that your motivation to work for CTA or the Tibet cause should be the lifelong struggle of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the resilience of our brothers and sisters back home in Tibet. And also, I would say that let us not be carried away and influenced by regionalism, as regionalism will adversely affect our unity, and it only strengthens CCP's hand.
That's wonderfully said, Kongola. So I'd like to ask one last question about question on UK government's policy or stand on Tibet and human rights violations everywhere. So, Kongola, can you tell us what are the chances or scope of United Kingdom UK government adopting more aggressive foreign policy towards China when it comes to supporting human rights in Tibet? Can you be a little specific?
Sure. Frankly speaking, I don't really quite see UK governments adopting any more aggressive foreign policy towards China. As we all know that UK had Brexit in 2016, which impacted UK's economy, UK's trade, UK's investment, job, etc. And now they are dependent on Chinese market and investment. And obviously, their national interests come first over any other issues or affairs. However, despite that, I trust that UK will not compromise its democratic values and ethical standards.
So Kongola, best wishes in your new post, and it was lovely talking to you for this conversation on Tibet TV. Thank you so much.
I would also, I wish each and every one of you a happy and blessed, healthy, and meaningful New Year. Thank you.
With this, we have come to the end of today's program of In Conversation with Tibet TV. Thank you so much for watching.